Hey YouTube, welcome to part 3. I'm going to get ready to paint these guys. The green stuff's been sanded down and looking good. I'm making a tool right now to paint the Mark IV because I want to be able to hold it without, I can't mount it really without it being on a base. So I came up with an idea. It's magnetized. This is not very sturdy, but I have over here some 9/32 inch plaster rod with a, I guess, a 1/4 inch interior, so that's perfect for these 1/4 inch magnets. So I'm gonna mix up some of this cheaper, like I think it's a plumber putty. So I can put it on both sides and magnetize both sides if I need to. I can make a stand for it, and we'll go from there. So I'll probably come back and show you what I'm doing, and then we'll see you then. Thanks. Okay, I'm back real quick. I just put this on the cutting mat here and measured out 3-inch pieces. I think that'll be good enough. Got this little tool called K&S. It's a pipe cutter. It's supposed to be good for like aluminum and a little bit of brass and obviously plastic. I saw the gentleman from Tinker Terrain using it, and because when you cut this stuff with a saw or anything like that, the saw's not too bad, but when you're trying to clip it or anything, it kind of messes it up. And I'm just going to run this through this real quick. Just kind of get it into the spot you need it, and line up the mark. Way easier said than done. Keep it going until it pierces it. Actually, we'll probably just do this. There, I got it in there. And let's see, spin this around. And this, rotate it, keep tightening it. There we go. There, you got it. See, perfectly cut. You can sand it if you wanted it. Perfectly cut. If you need to sand it, not a big deal. So I'm going to cut the other piece, and then we'll be back and mix up some putty. So I have a base. I don't want the magnets flying at each other inside the tube. See you in a bit. Hey, we're back real quick. This is just doing this quick little tutorial on how to make a, a quick little painting stand if you want it magnetized and something with a hefty enough magnet to hold something pretty tightly. I'm just cutting off this plumber's putty. Real cheap. I don't want to go into green stuff. This stuff dries pretty quickly too. So I'm going to mix this up, and we'll be back, and then break it up into 4 pieces, stuff it in the rods, and then we'll magnetize. See you in a few. Okay, I've already started. I got that one in there. There's my little snake of plumber's putty. I'm just going to make a plug and get that in there. And then we'll go here, and you got to make sure when you slide off it doesn't flip. I've had that happen to me a couple times doing magnetization. You might, it's so fast you might not see it, but there. So I'm going to finish up the other end. I'm going to do a little fixing there. It's going to take a while for that stuff to dry and set. So I'm going to fix this up, get the other 2 ends done, and we'll see you then. Thanks. Well, I ran into one little problem. The magnet in here was not strong enough, and this rod's too big to get in there. So I bought these magnets from a company called Amazing Magnets. Very good prices, and they when you buy a certain amount, you get like a free sample. So this is like it's like a 1/4 inch by probably a 1/4 inch, like a little magnet there. So it fits perfect up in there. And this one just worked flawlessly. Just glued it in, and then this little the magnet I have in there just attached to it immediately. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, can't shake it too hard. but it'll be good first for painting. So I'm going to get back on to painting these things. Got everything sanded down, and I'm going to put another coat of primer on this guy, and then I'm going to primer the top of, prime the top of this guy, then prime him. He hasn't been primed at all yet. So I'm just going to probably make some, take some bases and throw some tack on it, and then go from there with that. So next time you see it, we'll start painting. Thanks. Hey, I'm back again. I took one of some of my other old bases. This has got a strong enough magnet to keep this kind of stable. On this one over here on the main body part, put one of those bigger sample magnets and super glued it with some accelerator. And it is actually still not dry yet, but it's holding there nicely. So nice little stands to work out with, and easily just pop them off, paint them. So that'll make life a little easier. As usual, thank you for joining me. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Hey, we're back. Actually, I kind of got into this and started painting right away. What I did is I took the original one I stripped, and this is basically finished on the base coats. I appreciated them a little bit with some Minitaire Raven Black. Then went for the original undercoat with some Minitaire Royal Blood. And then for like the mid-tone, I used Minitaire Lagoon Blue. And for that little final highlight, to get that modulation going, I used a little Minitaire Werewolf Gray. Kind of like go with the colors with Game Color or with Games Workshop. Well, you can see my eye right there with my working glasses on. So he looks like he turned out pretty cool. I'm going to appreciate the rest of this stuff. Kind of just dove into this guy right away. And I'm not going to win any contests with him, but I think that's cool for a start. And then start some brush work and then extreme edge highlighting. And we'll do a lot of weathering on these guys, especially where the places where I had those divots and stuff. Might just camouflage those with that. And it looks pretty cool. Let's see, put him back in there. So it's dark underneath, kind of a little zenithal going too. And just a fun little fast paint job. And then when we get the brushwork to it, we'll put all the details on it. Well, thank you for joining me. We'll be back. I'll show you some pre-shading. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. I'll run this into the booth or not. We're really not running a heavy lot of paint, just doing the pre-shading. So I'm just gonna I'm using the chrome today too. I'm really digging the action on the my Renegade Velocity is not feeling. I think I might need to clean it. We're just gonna do some just quick pre-shading in here, get into the grooves, getting around the sarcophagus, making that darker. Get underneath and then equipment. Ooh, we got some kind of screw in there. Pull it out. This is really nice detail brush. We're going to be good on that for right now. Grab our other piece. Got our legs here. I'm running 20 pounds of air pressure as he's blowing around with that magnet spinning. And probably not going to do the speed anyway, but paint it. Actually, I'm going to start appreciating the rest of the accessories and weapons too, so might as well keep the paint going. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll come back, I'll show you everything appreciated, ready to go. And as usual, thank you for joining me. Well, I'm back. I just did the appreciating basic stuff. A lot of these I'm just hitting in from the bottom up, kind of going to a reverse zenithal. I'm going to hit with the heavy dark blue again, and this kind of works the same way as I did on the test model. Here is the Mark IV. I always want to call it Contemptor. It's not a Contemptor. It's a Mark IV. It's just like they're basically the same, just with a different head. These are kind of a little more. This actually should be a Mark V. These look a little more futuristic. Some of this locked in a box with a slot in it. But no matter what, it's still getting ready to go. I'm going to hit these with the base coats, and I'll be back and show them to you. Thanks. Hey YouTube, it's David. I think we're going to finish off part 3 right here. I'm just going to show you these guys real quick. Their base coats are all done. I'm going through all the weapons right now. They're turning out pretty cool. Colors, Royal Blood, main color. These are all Minitaire, or the first 3 are. The second first highlight's Lagoon Blue. The third highlight is Werewolf Gray, which is really actually a blue color. It's not like it's more blue than the Wolf Gray from Vallejo or Games Workshop. This guy turned out real nice too. Just a nice little gradient, and it kind of pops. All the panels are kind of done differently. And this gives a little more, I still haven't glued him down yet. I'm going to change that base, so that base has got like a blue tint to it. I'm going to probably make these kind of match the Army type of thing. And use that same, I think that's Mississippi Mud from Americana or something like that I use for the base rings on most of my Ultramarines, or most of my Army period. And then we went in as a final highlight, just a nice thing to make it pop, is the Game Colors Vallejo Game Color Glacier Blue. And you can see over here I got all my medicine cups going. I like mixing my paint in medicine cups first. It don't cost that much, a couple cents a cup. But what it does, you can always see your consistency. Like this is already paint I've been using. And you can see it grips the wall but a little bit, then slides down and leaves a slight film. And I feel that's like one of the best ways to paint. See how that goes down, and you can see it's opaque at first, then it slides. And then I'm running about maybe 20 to 25 pounds of pressure right now. You can see all these weapons. Just doing the first highlight on these. And just did the first highlight on that autocannon. That one's about ready to be done right now. So that's going to be the end of part 3 when we come back. These guys will be all painted to a point of base colors. These 2 are done and also have been and then with some Army Painter anti-shine to protect the paint job I got so far. Because I'm going to start going in there with doing some detailing, get some metallics in there. These aren't very hard models to paint. Just the airbrush part gives them a kind of a cool look. You want to do this with a paintbrush, it would take you hours and hours and hours of blending. So that's one thing an airbrush does help with. So as usual, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in part 4.